Ever thought about the journey video games have taken over the years? Come on, let's dive the past together. In the early days, video games weren't about the showy graphics or dramatic narratives that we see today, but about a simple craving for a new type of fun, a spark ignited in the 1950s. Back then, computers were these gargantuan beasts, their potential yet to be discovered. But even in this age of technological infancy, the roots of video gaming started to grow. Picture this: Tennis for Two, born in 1958 from the mind of physicist William Higginbotham, was one of the first games created for the sheer joy of it. With an old-school oscilloscope and a couple of chunky controllers, players bounced a virtual ball back and forth, lighting the fire for a fresh form of amusement. Simple? Yes. Engaging? Absolutely. Now let's zip through time to 1962. A bunch of MIT students came up with Space War. Imagine a game on a PDP-1 mainframe computer where two players duke it out in cosmic battle, their ships caught in a star's gravitational tug. Mind-blowing, right? And that was just the start. These early video games marked a game-changing shift in how we entertained ourselves. They were more than just digital playthings. They were immersive experiences. No more watching from the sidelines like in TV or cinema. Now you were in the driver's seat. But more than that, these early video games kick-started a cultural wave. They fueled the dreams of millions, sparking a generation of coders, artists, and gamers. They opened up a brand new, uncharted world of entertainment, and boy, were people hooked. This was the starting point, the birth of an industry that would soon mushroom into a multi-billion-dollar business. These were the initial strides in a journey that would forever alter how we play, connect, and experience stories. So, these humble early games, they laid the foundation for a total shakeup in entertainment, preparing the ground for a thriving industry. Well, buckle up, we're heading back to the 70s and 80s. Picture this: no internet, no gaming consoles. All we had were arcades, and trust me, these were the real deal, the beating heart of the gaming universe. This is where we all hung out, getting lost in the world of joysticks, button mashing, and those intense high-score battles. We were surrounded by iconic games that are now considered legends. How cool is that? Games like Pong, a simple yet freakishly addictive icon, was the spark that set the arcade world on fire. It went beyond being just a game. It was a social gathering, everyone huddling around a single screen, bathed in its glow. Now, who can forget Pac-Man? The unique gameplay, the lovable characters. It was an instant hit. It was so popular that it became a pop culture sensation, with a cartoon series, merchandise, and even a hit song just for our little yellow friend. These arcades, with their pulsating neon lights, housed a lively and diverse group of people, all sharing the same love for games. This was more than just a hangout spot. It was a hub where friendships were formed and rivalries were ignited. Gaming wasn't just about sitting alone with a controller, it was a shared experience that we all enjoyed. You won't believe how fast gaming grew during this era. It was phenomenal. It wasn't just for the tech geeks or the nerds anymore, it was for everyone. Doesn't matter who you were or where you came from, we all found joy in guiding a small pixelated character across the screen. So gaming stepped out from being a niche thing and strutted into the mainstream entertainment scene. Yes, the arcade era really put gaming on the map, but guess what? The real game changer was just about to step into the picture. So let's journey back to the mid-80s, the dawn of a new era. Yeah, you guessed it, the era of home consoles. The year was 1985 and the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES as we fondly call it, hit the shelves. Honestly, it was a game changer, no pun intended. This unassuming gray box was the key to transforming our living rooms into arcades. It was the ticket to epic adventures without ever having to leave your house. But wait, the NES wasn't the only trailblazer. Let's not forget our friends across the Pacific. In 1988, the Sega Genesis made its debut, introducing us to our favorite speedy blue hedgehog, Sonic. Now, these consoles, they weren't just about accessibility. They stirred the pot and shifted the dynamics of game complexity and narrative. Remember when gaming was just about getting the highest score or surviving the longest? Yeah, those days were over. Home consoles, they started telling stories, gave us all the feels, and made us think in ways we hadn't before. Whether it was the enchanting world of Super Mario Bros. Or the chilling realms of Castlevania, these consoles took us on a journey through magical narratives. These weren't just games, folks, they were experiences, a new era of interactive storytelling. In the console wars, Nintendo and Sega became the talk of the town. They sparked a rivalry that kept the gaming industry on its toes, pushing boundaries and driving innovation. Sure, the competition was intense, but guess who really scored? Yeah, the gamers. Each new game pushed the envelope, redefining what thought was possible. Gaming also became a social thing. Remember trying to outdrive your siblings in Mario Kart, or teaming up with your buddies in Streets of Rage, or settling rivalries in a virtual world? Well, as technology kept forward, so did gaming, stepping into a whole new dimension. And as we'll see in the next chapter, this revolution, my friends, was only just beginning. Remember the 90s and early 2000s? Ah, what a time it was. That's when we saw 3D graphics and online gaming spring up. Talk about a game changer, literally. We jumped from the flat earth of two-dimensional games right into the sprawling, immersive world of 3D, a complete revolution. It all kicked off with games like Wolfenstein 3D and Doom, the trailblazers in 3D gaming. They didn't just throw in an extra visual dimension, they revamped our whole gaming experience. All of a sudden, we weren't just dashing left or right, we were wandering through vast virtual landscapes with depth and perspective that made it feel insanely real. The 3D revolution was on, compelling developers to think outside the box. We started seeing more intricate settings, more detailed characters, and more exciting gameplay mechanics. Let's not forget, the 90s weren't only about 3D graphics. It also marked the dawn of online gaming. The internet was starting to become a household name, and our clever game developers caught on pretty quick. Remember Ultima Online and EverQuest? They gave us a glimpse into what online gaming could be. But it was World of Warcraft that truly took the ball and ran with it. This game created a huge, continuous online world where we could stumble upon millions of players, embark on quests, and weave our own tales. It was so much more than a game, it was a living, breathing universe we could step into whenever we fancied. Pair up 3D graphics and online gaming, and voila, the gaming industry was revamped. Games weren't just about topping the scoreboard anymore, it was about exploration, living out adventures in virtual universes and connecting with players worldwide. This era reshaped how we play and view games, and folks, this was just the beginning. From here, gaming took off and never looked back, always pushing the envelope of what's possible in this interactive domain. So, zip us forward to today, and guess what? We're smack dab in the middle of the most thrilling era of gaming yet. Now get this. We've journeyed a long way from the blocky Pong of the 70s, and we've evolved into a universe where it seems like everyone and their grandma's a gamer in one way or another. Mobile gaming, a concept that would have been total sci-fi 4 decades ago, is now a worldwide sensation. It ranges from the casual gamer sneakily swiping through Candy Crush on their work break to the die-hard player planning their next Clash of Clans invasion. Mobile gaming has seriously shaken things up. But the fun part? It's not just about the games. It's about the connection, the community, the whole shared experience. And wait till I tell you about virtual reality, or VR, a crazy tech that's totally redefining gaming as we know it. We're not just talking playing a game here, we're talking living the game. With VR, you're not just twiddling a joystick, you're stepping into the shoes of the character. It's immersive, it's intense, it's a whole other realm of gaming. And let's not forget esports, they're blowing up big time, transforming gaming from a one-man show to a full-on spectator sport. With crowds of fans tuning in to watch pro gamers duke it out, esports are fast becoming the next heavyweight in entertainment. But what really makes modern gaming stand out is its epic diversity. From small-scale indie games whipped up by a lone developer to gigantic multiplayer online games with millions of players across the globe, there's a flavor for everyone. Games aren't just about winning or losing these days, they're about exploring other worlds, cracking brain-busting puzzles, and spinning gripping tales. What's next for gaming? Well, it's bright. It's dynamic, it's chock full of potential. Picture games that react to your every mood, or virtual worlds so real you forget you're playing. Think about totally interactive, player-driven stories, or games that learn and adapt to how you play. Video games have morphed from their humble roots to a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse, and honestly, we're buzzing to see where they're headed next.